At this time, I'd like to call to order the 27 November 2023 Jackson County Commission meeting. We'd like to welcome everyone here. We have a number of items on the agenda tonight in new business. Some items of vote for new business, and we have some important discussions that we have in the work sessions tonight. So with that, I'd like to ask Mr. Manning, the county administrator, to please call the roll to establish a quorum.
Yes, sir. District 1, Mr. Gully.
Present.
District 2, Mr. Kimmer.
Present.
District 3, Mr. Buckner. District 4, Mr. McBride.
Present. We do have a quorum. Thanks very much. And at this time, if everyone would please stand, I'd like to ask Mr. Porter, our county attorney, to please offer an invocation, and Commissioner Kimmer to please lead our Pledge of Allegiance.
God, our Father in heaven, we acknowledge you as the creator of all things in heaven and on this earth. We're so thankful, God, for the blessings you've given each and every one of us, and particularly as a county. We're thankful for the men and women who serve this county in so many different ways, serve the public and serve their fellow man. So, God, we're thankful for them. We pray that you'll continue to watch over us and guide us each and every day. In Christ's name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Salute. Pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
In everybody's packet is an agenda for tonight's meeting. We do not have any additions or deletions, so at this time, if I can get a motion to approve the 27 November 2023 agenda.
I'll make that motion.
We have a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Do we have a second? Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you very much. Any awards or presentations tonight? Okay, if none, any public comments? None. I would like at this time to address a public comment, Ms. Walker, from last time. And by the way, let me say thank you for being back tonight. I did take a chance to drive out 169 and take a look out there and have what you had presented to us last time. So let me give you, as I told you I would take a look at this, and I'll give you an answer on it. As I understand, the matter that you discussed last time is a matter regarding a request for easement across property, and it is between two property owners. So, ma'am, that is a private matter of which the county cannot get involved in a private matter. We're only able to deal with public functions and public matters. And the county was not, is not, and will not be a party to this matter regarding whatever decision is made in the process of that. The county has authority over county roads. So you asked about, will the county make a public road in your note that you gave to us. And the county and only county has the authority over county roads and making the decision whether to make a public road or not make a public road, and then the maintenance and care of public county roads. There has been no request to the county to do a road off of 169. And cannot do a road work on private property. Spending public money on private property is against the law. And we would not be able to do that and cannot do that. And it is the decision authority of the county whether or not we would do a road or not do a road, a public road or a county road. So one of the questions you asked was, is the county's intention to take over land, take our land, which happens to be air property, and give it to Mr. Beavers. The county has no intention to take any property or any road that is on private land. We would not do that. And again, I would say public funds cannot be used for any work on any private property. That again is against the law. Now, Mr. Porter has a law practice. He has many clients. The county is one such client. But Mr. Porter, as our lawyer, can only petition for the county when it is a county matter. He cannot petition for the county in private matters on behalf of the county. And this is not a county issue. And so the county will not get involved in this issue. So I wanted to let you know that. So let me ask if you've got any further questions.
No, that answers it, but.
Okay. I just want to make sure you know we're not looking to do a road on your property.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Mhm.
And I want to say again, thanks for coming before the county and talking to us. We always invite people to come and speak at these meetings. So, thank you, ma'am. So with that, let's move into the new business portion of our meeting. And first up, in your package, you have the minutes from the November 13, 2023 commission meeting. Do I have a motion to adopt the minutes from the November 13, 2023 meeting and work session?
I'll make that motion.
We have a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
We have a second. Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you very much. Next, in our last meeting in the work session, we discussed the request for a post-retirement employment contract. That contract is between Jackson County, Alabama, working through the Jackson County Revenue Commissioner, and a Mr. Johnny Green. Now, Mr. Green would be employed in the category of an exempt part-time contract employee, and he would be employed in the office of the Revenue Commission's office. That contract is in your packet. So do I have a motion to approve and sign the post-retirement employment contract for mapping and appraisal office?
I'll make that motion.
We have a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
We have a second. Any discussion or questions? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
The motion carries. Thank you. Also at our last meeting, our county attorney, Mr. Campbell, discussed some ADEM stormwater project grants, 2 of them. I think the total value was $450,000 for those grants. You have in your packet the cover sheet for each of those grants. And they are grants from utilizing American Rescue Plan Act drinking water, wastewater project agreement funds. And it states that Alabama Department of Environmental Management is pleased to offer a grant in the amount first of $150,000 to Jackson County Public Works for stormwater project, and the second is $300,000 for replacement stormwater cross drain and or culvert work, which is the same for both grant requests or approvals. So do I have a motion to approve and sign grant agreements with ADEM for stormwater project for Public Works Department?
I'll make that motion.
We have a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
A second. Any discussion? No discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. Also at our last meeting and work session, we had a discussion about work that is going on at the airport, and our airport received a grant from Alabama Department of Transportation in the amount of $140,593, but it required a 25% match, which came to $35,148. The city of Scottsboro will provide $10,000 of that. They're requesting $25,148 from our industrial development fund. And we covered last time how much money we do have in that fund. And we had a discussion about the importance of our airport for the future economic development of Jackson County. So at this time, do I have a motion to approve funding for airport work using IDB funds?
I'll make that motion.
We have a motion. Do I have a second?
Thank you.
We have a second. Any questions or discussion? Any comment? With that, if none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. Also, at our last session, we had a discussion about establishing a contract with Lean Frog Company, and they're in the business of doing comprehensive organizational reviews and efficiency studies. They have a reputation across the Southeast for the work that they do. We have asked that they take a look at comprehensive efficiencies that could be gained with Public Works and our sanitation department. And also, part of that would include cost efficiencies to consolidate all maintenance activities for our Jackson County work, to include Sheriff's Department and all the vehicles of all the departments of the county. The total value of that contract is estimated at $45,660 to be paid in 4 payments over the period of the contract. Is expected to take 3 to 4 months to get this done. With that, do I have a motion to approve and sign contract with efficiency consultant Lean Frog Organization?
I'll make that motion.
We have a motion. To have a second?
I'll second that.
We have a second. Any discussion or questions? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. Last item in new business, I think each of us got a packet of information regarding job descriptions for Public Works. They are based on, for the most part, on the Auburn studies that were conducted and have been reviewed by our Public Works Department. With that, do I have a motion to approve the Public Works job descriptions?
I'll make that motion.
We have a motion. To have a second?
Second.
We have a second. Any questions? Discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. So with that, that concludes the new business portion of our agenda. We will now move into our work session. First, we have JMR+H, which is an engineering and architectural firm that is working for our county commission to do analysis and engineering design and architectural design for several projects. So with that, let me turn it over to Kevin. And Kevin, sir, if you will give us a rundown. Today, we did have a review with all the members of our courthouse staff, as well as other members that are involved in either moving to Liberty Lane or continue to work here in the courthouse. And so we got a 65% design review, and I'd like to get a summary of that review from Kevin. Please, sir.
Sure. Again, my name is Kevin Ball, and I'm with JMR+H Architecture out of Montgomery. We've been tasked with design and engineering for the Liberty Lane building, courthouse annex, as well as the structural repairs and improvements on the courthouse here at this location. And we did indeed give our 65% design summary documents today to the chairman and reviewed those with revenue commissioner and probate judge and associated staff members. Everything went well. We have the primary changes to Liberty Lane are in the area from the 35% to 65% design involve the public services area, the function of the probate and revenue departments, public function in the front of the building, the expansion of that public services area with clerk counter space, with circulation and queuing areas, with public restroom support, and with the redistribution of flow as far as personnel inside the building. And then we discussed the different components. If you're familiar with the Liberty Lane building, there are basically 4 wings to that building. So we went through with each department and entity that's in that building, what they're, based on the comments from the last review we had with them and programming of their staff and operations information, put together a final floor plan layout, and did not have significant questions regarding that or any required changes to that. A few comments that we will incorporate. And along with that, we also discussed the courthouse and the renovations here with primarily the structural repairs and the public access restrooms on the ground level as you enter, so that there's public access restrooms that are ADA compliant for public square and town square functions downtown. So we went through all that, and we also brought with us 65% statements of probable cost for both projects. We are still tracking budget-wise in line with where we've been, and with additions and modifications at Liberty Lane. But here at the courthouse, we are currently at a probable cost budget of $1.294 million. And then on Liberty Lane, we are on task for a budget cost, probable cost for $2.208 million. So did not have any other questions or comments from the presentation earlier, and I will entertain any from the commission at this time if there are any.
Okay, any questions? Let me offer a comment. First on schedule, we're still on schedule to be at 95% design second week of January, and with success there, be ready to put both bid packages on the street.
Correct.
With an expected contract award mid-February.
That is correct. We plan on coming back for I believe it's the January 8th commission meeting, and doing our 95% presentation then for this project.
And again, the Liberty Lane will hold all of our administrative services for our county citizens. And so we have requested in the $2.2 million is also, correct me if I'm wrong, it included the option for enhanced lighting throughout the building.
Correct.
We'll exercise the option based upon bid price.
That's right. What we typically do on projects is we set a baseline budget for base bid, so that we know that we have an awardable project based on the base of available funds for the base bid. And then for any optional items that are not necessary to the function of the building, but that would improve public service in the building or improve the building itself and how it serves the public, we do have an option in that project to upgrade the existing remaining lighting that is not being altered during the renovation to LED lighting to provide the energy efficiency for the building.
And again, we will have probate, revenue, mapping and appraisal, driver's license test, county extension office, community action offices that will be housed in that building. And so one location for our citizens to come for all of those functions. I'll open the floor if Judge Manning or Revenue Commissioner Jeff Arnold, any comment or any county extension?
It looked good. I mean, everything looked good. We liked what we saw.
Yeah, appreciate all the time that y'all put into this. You really worked hard on it.
Yes, sir, and we sincerely appreciate the opportunity to work with this county. We've had a good relationship with this county, and we intend on keeping it that way. And we're here to service you guys, and even after these projects are completed, we're here for you. So it's a relationship that we've enjoyed, and I appreciate each and every one of you and working with you.
Okay. Matt, any comments?
Just for the extension office, appreciate everybody that's come together and worked on it, and the teamwork that's went involved. We're excited about it because it'll be more visible for us, and being able to have a space to work with our farmers and our 4-H kids, we're very excited about that. Thank you.
I would also like to say once again, I said it the other day, the help from the state with the help of Senator Livingston and Representative Kirkland, that $700,000 helps us get to where the funds we have planned available for these two projects covers the cost of these two estimates that we have here. So with that, we won't hear again from this until January.
We're coming back. We'll be back here in a week and a half or so to have a follow-up visit with staff members here in the courthouse. But yes, we are well on our way to January.
And I know the bid process and all that will take time, but once the bid has been awarded, how long do you think it'll take to completion?
In general, just as a general rule of thumb, typically it takes a county commission about 2 weeks between the time the bid is let and open till the time it's awarded. That's just a general time frame, depending on how meetings fall during that time period, but usually about 2 weeks. Once the contract is awarded and official and recorded officially in a commission meeting, then the contracts will go out. We'll have them pre-prepped. And as soon as we get authorization to award, we send the contract out to the contractors for execution. That generally takes about 1.5 to 2 weeks, because what they have to do is acquire the bonding information for the bonds and insurance for the project, and then execute the contract and bring it back. So it takes about 3 to 4 weeks overall and once the commission authorizes award, we will do a letter of intent to award, which gives the contractor kind of the go-ahead and get started getting his material submittals ready, especially for any long lead time items, and getting those into us, so that we're working while the paperwork is taking its process through, that he can go ahead and do that, and then following that, we'll give him a notice to proceed and set a date that the contract officially starts following that. But we do like to do a letter of intent to award after the commission approves it, and use the commission meetings to back that up legally, to have that attached to it, so that they can go ahead and be working under the premise during contract execution of getting submittal packages together.
Projected build-out time?
Projected build-out time is about 365 days, roughly about a year. Construction time, that's what we will allot for in the contract, and which will still put us well inside the ICE or the ARPA guidelines of having the money committed by the end of 2020. Once the contract is executed, you've committed your money, your funding, and then you have to have it expended by the end of 26. So that gets us well within our window.
And the plan is, you may have already said it and I missed it, but the plan is that these are projects that are bid as one package and are work concurrently.
That is correct. And what we did is we are packaging both of these, the courthouse and Liberty Lane, up as bid item A and B inside of one project. So financially, they're tracked separately, and then we have internal tracking in them for the ARPA funds, so that we meet the reporting guidelines for ARPA. So all that down to the penny is identified for your ARPA reporting through IAC. But by doing bid items A and B in a single project, we've seen value over the years that we get a better participation from reputable contracting firms for the project. So you would have one general contractor that gets the contract for both buildings, and then subcontractors. And what it does is allow for a greater amount of local subcontractor participation, and even local prime contractors under that umbrella of that larger general contractor. So we see benefit for the county, both schedule-wise and financially, by packaging both buildings up together.
Any other questions?
Just want to say thank you, Kevin, for all the work you've done and working with us on different things. That we appreciate you guys, and if we can help in any way, let us know.
Absolutely. Again, thank y'all.
Before you get off the stage, I just want to say, update on our HVAC system. They started putting in the copper, running all the piping through the ceiling, and we still think by the end of December.
That's for the DX unit side. We'll still have some stuff that'll need to get done once the boiler comes in. That just holds up that side of the project. But most of it's going to be done by the end of this year.
Okay.
It's going along nicely, and Kobe, you'll see Mr. Dave Swicky from our office will be up here on Friday, this Friday, and he'll be meeting with Braxton, and I believe he's coordinated with you. I saw the email to be here so that he can walk through with you as well. He's our director of contract administration, so that's kind of his wheelhouse to get it to update everything, just make sure the contractor stayed on schedule, any issues. So he'll be up here on Friday.
And
Horton's been here every couple weeks. So.
Last note I'll make is we do have a detailed large print of the 65% design for both the courthouse and Liberty Lane for any of you who want to stop in and thumb through those, and we'll look at them there about.
And I will also be forwarding Misty a digital PDF copy of those as well, so that you have digital copies.
Okay. Kevin, thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you all for all the help. Next item under commission is Corner Transport Service. As you know, we did put a bid package on the street for bid. That bid closed at 10 a.m. Tuesday, November the 21st. And at that, we had no bids for the transport, mortuary transport service for our county. But with no bids, that allows us then to go out and solicit quotes. We did that. We got a quote from MAC Mortuary Transport Limited Liability Company. They are located in Gunnersville. They quoted to the exact same spec and bid package that we had put on the street with the same timing requirements. And you have in your packet a invitation for bid sheet of which they filled out with their cost per event. And they are within the cost that we had estimated. And so I have asked our coroner, John Davis, to take a look at this. And John Davis, if you don't mind, I'll open the floor for any comments you may have, sir.
The only comment I have is I would like for them to clarify the mileage. It'd be loaded miles instead of both ways, because it could run into a good deal of money if we go to the Bryan area or somewhere like that, over 40 miles. And also, the sheriff department and the police departments, they have an agreement with another transport service for their bodies. So this transport service, it will not be affecting the transport for criminal cases from the morgue to the forensic lab and back. So we won't have to worry about paying for that, because they're going to continue, hopefully they're going to continue their contract. They will come out cheaper that way. And because the police department, sheriff's department are responsible for those deals. And as far as body bags, I think we should furnish our own body bags, because we can get those about half the cost of each body bag. And as far as the rest of the packet here, this is just something that they followed by the Homeland Security, and I'm sure Mr. Porter's looked over that. And I think that's about all I had with it. And if they follow the guidelines that we sent out for the bid, I think we'll all be happy about it.
Okay, any adjustments other than take the body bags out, was there an adjustment you recommended we discuss with them on mileage?
We just need to clarify that it's loaded miles that you're charging us for.
In other words, you don't want them to charge us to come from Gunnersville
Right.
to Bryan
And yeah.
to get the body.
Yeah.
You want to charge loaded mile from pickup to the cooler.
Yeah, that's the way everything is usually done, because if they were here in Scottsboro and traveled 40 miles to the Tennessee state line up at Bryan, that could run into a lot of money real quick.
Okay.
And so we just need to clarify that it's loaded miles.
Okay, I'll get with you after this. We'll get a discussion going with them and see.
And I think that's going to be appropriate. I think they just didn't clarify it.
Okay. With that, I think we bring this back to the next work session with the answers to that, and if we're okay, we would then set aside the rules and move forward with it. Is that okay with everybody? Okay. Thank you, sir. Next item is the 2024 holiday schedule. It's the time of year that we vote on that. There is in your packet recommended. This is based upon the current state's approved holiday schedule. There's one exception, that is Good Friday. I think the commission voted a number of years ago, and we have stayed with that we in Jackson County allow Good Friday this year, Friday, March the 29th as a holiday. Let everybody take a look at this. We'll put it on the work session for our next meeting. and with any comments that you may have at the next meeting. Okay? Thank you. So with that, one of the things that we talked about in a special work session that we had about a month ago was some work at County Park on docks, and asked Mr. Bria, the director of the county park, to get some estimates on dock repair. So let me turn it over to Mr. Bria.
Thank you, Chairman. Yeah, following that meeting, I met with one of our local dock builders that was recommended that night, and kind of explained the entire scope of what we were wanting quoted. He put together a package. It's a little confusing when you look at the individual quotes, because each individual quote has 4 options of building material, sizes, and what it's made of. So I can kind of go over that for each one. And then on the little notes page that I included in the packet, I put together the highest price going with all composite materials to the lowest price going certain dimensional size, pressure treated. Talks about 8% discount if we were to choose to do all 9 docks that were quoted. And then if you go to the actual individual quote sheets, first one's probably going to be the handicap accessible. The charge that would be the same would be the demolition and the open top. Your 4 choices are going to fall in between. So the top one being all composite construction, then all composite using 4x6 versus 6x6 posts. And then the fourth item down is going to be 2x6 decking, 6x6 posts pressure treated, and then 4x6 posts. And you can kind of see the cost difference there. The totals at the bottom is going to be all 4 quotes totaled out on, so it's not valid. So
what you're saying is the demo is going to be the demo, and we need to pick our poison on the options, right?
correct.
So
1, 2, 3, 4 options.
all right, we're looking at how many docks that we've asked for the quote.
So it's a total of 9, with 2 of them being demo only, just to get rid of the
Those are in
docks.
the campground
Yes, sir.
area. Okay. Your summary sheet here, if I look at that, that is total. You've got at the top your composite price total and your pressure treated price total.
Yes.
That is total cost for all 9 docks, 7 rebuilds and 2 demolitions.
Correct.
Okay. And so the price is $617,000 for composite work and the $482,500 for the pressure treated work.
Correct. And that also includes the demos for the 2 that won't be rebuilt.
Okay. Do we have any idea what the difference in lifespan for composite versus pressure treated?
I do not.
Okay. I think that's an interesting question to ask as we look at this.
Yeah, and I asked about what, as a builder, what he would recommend. He said going composite is great. He said there's still maintenance that has to be done to it, pressure washing, things like that, which was basically the same thing that you're doing for the pressure treated side. It's about once every 2 to 3 years you're having to pressure wash the whole dock down and bring out basically fresh coat.
And if we were to proceed with this would have to go to bid.
Yeah.
And I would suggest that we ask for quotes both ways when we go to bid, so we have options whenever we look at that. But let me open the floor for any other questions or comments.
Did they mention whether they're using nails or screws on those decking boards?
I believe, so he mentioned something about a specialty hardware for the composite, but he didn't say anything about when we were talking about the pressure treated.
There's a direct sun all day, and I know those nails will back out, and they'll be sticking in that corner.
It doesn't specify.
Okay.
So this is just where you went to a local contractor and got quotes, and if memory serves me, you got quotes from another contractor from out of town before, correct?
We did.
And submitted to us.
Yep, so for instance, with that one, with the previous quote that we received, Dock 1 previously was quoted at $120,000 to replace it. And that was the out-of-town quote.
One,
Mhm.
is that this first page?
In your packet, it may be... It's going to be quote 65.
How much was that quote?
Well,
What was the quote again?
The quote this time was for
The
composite,
previous.
previous was 120.
so like on this, if you added your 8,500 and then your top composite, you'd be at 58, correct?
Mhm. Yeah, it's, total it was 59,305.50 for that dock, so less than half of what was previously.
Okay.
But, and when you get into this total dollar amount, you're getting, over $50,000, so the contractor, I mean, this is ultimately gonna have to go up for bid, so really we shouldn't, I don't think we should talk this pricing too much in public. Since we're gonna put this out for bid, that's unfair for the contractor to be bidding.
So that it's
Okay.
more,
But for discussion, we're not ready right now to proceed with this. Again, we would need to put together a solicitation packet for this. We need to start working on it. But let me back up first of all. We've all been out to the campground. We've seen the condition of the docks. It seems to me this is something we need to certainly be thinking about doing, and doing as soon as we can. Part of that discussion has to be where we are whenever we get through the process of what we're doing with Liberty Lane and the courthouse and those, because it is the availability of ARPA funds to be able to proceed with this program. I would propose. This is an option for the ARPA funds that's remaining. So, I certainly think we want to proceed and put together a bid package now and get that ready to go.
Yeah. Because we don't have to accept the bid, we just, but without knowing, I think it would be very beneficial. And if it's something we can do, we definitely need to do, because we don't want anybody on docks that aren't of good quality.
Does this include ADOT?
it does not.
It does not.
No, sir.
Okay.
No,
Are you looking at ADOT also as to any kind of maintenance activity we need for ADOT?
So beyond the personnel gate that's going to be redone there at the beginning of it, the rest of the dock is in pretty good shape in that it's 90% covered. The areas that are not covered, redecking is going to suffice for that section.
Okay.
That's something you're gonna do
Yes,
in-house.
sir.
Got to the bank edge?
Yes, yeah, the gangway to the bank.
Okay. So I don't think we need to put it on new business to go put, well, we don't. Let's go start working on putting a bid package together
Okay.
for this. And we would want to bring that to a work session, the bid package, and make sure we're ready to go with that.
All right, sounds good.
John, let me ask you, anything else we need to be considering with this as we,
We just need to look at those guidelines that Stephen has, that's been published by TVA and sent out by TVA to make sure that those are considered within whatever you're doing.
Yeah, and so that was discussed, so everything that's gonna be going into it will be brought up to modern standard and code as far as, the requirements to have a lip around the edges for ADA compliance and things like that. So those, they are being addressed.
okay, good. Any other questions, comments?
I would just assume putting this out for bid, of course, you have the general contractor requirement, I assume we would require it to be bonded.
All projects are required to be bonded.
Okay, good. All right, thanks. Thanks for the work on this. I know you've been working this for a while. Next up, in our work session, we have a pickup truck issue and with our IT department. About 3 weeks ago, we had a deer strike. We took the truck to Precision and had an adjuster take a look at it from CRS. They have totaled the truck. And so if you look in your packet, there is a statement from CRS regarding this. They valued the truck at $22,355. We have a deductible of $5,000. And that would give us a net total payment from the insurance company at $17,355. The point of all this is we need to proceed forward with purchase of another truck, a replacement truck, and I believe you have a purchase
Yeah, so I went out to the state bid list dealerships and got one for a Dodge, one for a Chevy, one for a Ford. What I have in your packet is the Ford F-150. It's the same. I'm not so certain it's not the same set of trucks that Caleb got. Some that someone canceled on. I think this is one of the last ones. I have him holding on to this at Stivers in Montgomery. I told him that I would let him know after today what you guys' decision is. The Chevy and the Dodge were $7,000 to $8,000 more than this quote. So, and a Tahoe was even more than that. So, this was one of the better, cheaper trucks. So we end up after the net total from insurance minus this, we end up $24,301 into this truck. And you know, in the future, if this is something you guys want to continue doing, is the fleet system that we're starting in at solid waste, and I think Public Works is doing. I think no more miles than we would put on it yearly, and no more than we have into it. I think we could profit each year selling this truck and getting another one. The retail on this F-150 that you have quoted is $58,000. And you see what we're getting it for, so I think there could be a huge upside next year, and then a continued influx of money back into the general fund.
Okay. Any questions, comments?
Weren't we surplusing some from solid waste to send us out?
He sold them already. I called him.
I think he's been replacing those.
Taking me a year to get them.
That's he just luckily it was going to be hard to get a vehicle, and like I said, I think this is the last one from the package that Caleb got one of them that someone didn't come get. I called Caleb's guy, and this was like the last one he's holding on to.
Okay, funding would come from, we would have to take that out of our general fund budget to do this, to pay this. And margin, we have the margin to cover this? Okay.
You're talking about roughly $24,000.
Yes, sir.
So the insurance check will be applied.
So is this something that needs to happen?
Yes, if you guys wouldn't care and could set aside the rules, he's holding on to this truck available. If you guys aren't comfortable with that, I can get quotes on trucks that would have to be ordered, and I don't know the timeline on
So what is this again?
This is the F-150. I think it's the same truck that
Ford F-150?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I know in my personal insurance, I got hit by a deer, my insurance is gonna go up. Does that happen with us? I mean,
I have no idea.
As a part of this discussion later on, I'd like to have a discussion about $5,000 that we would pay on, for our deductible cost.
I'm just curious.
On the vehicle.
Yeah, I don't know.
I know my insurance will go.
That's a different discussion.
It affects our rating, but not,
I'm sorry?
it affects our overall rating.
This truck was purchased from the revenue commissioner at a good deal. So the cost that they're giving from Jeff, the cost that they're giving us for this is I don't think that.
Y'all paid me $5,000 for it, so. I don't know what y'all get.
So you're really there's a high upside to this to this truck, no more than we have into it of what we're getting paid out. I can't believe that they paid that much for it. It had well over 100,000 miles.
Okay, so the question before us is, do we want to set aside the rules? You say that.
For this to get this specific truck, yes, sir. I would need the rules set aside and a PO for tomorrow. If you guys would rather go a different route, then.
Any other discussion?
Well, I just want to double check.
Yeah.
This paperwork from Stivers is dated July 22, so I didn't know if that was still accurate.
It's a special order truck that someone didn't pick up, so he still has this exact truck. The price is accurate.
So the price is
Yeah, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Mr. Chairman, in the motion, if you're going to do that, you probably go ahead and surplus the truck that we're going to sell to CRS.
Okay, so first of all, we would want a surplus.
You surplus the 2018, whatever.
2018 Dodge Ram for 1,500. Okay, so do I have a motion to set aside the rules?
I'll make that motion.
We have a motion to have a second.
I'll second it.
Okay, we have a second. Any questions or discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Do I have a motion to surplus the 2018 Dodge Ram 1500 truck?
I'll make that motion.
And we have a motion to have a second.
I'll second that.
We have a second. Any questions? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Do we have a motion to purchase a Ford F-150 truck from Stivers Ford Lincoln, Montgomery, Alabama?
I'll make that motion.
We have a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
We have a second. Any questions or discussion or comment? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you.
I just want to give you guys an update on the IT network situation that you guys purchased out of the ARPA money. We're starting phase 1 of the testing trials and racking, stacking all the network Thursday of next week. Once we get the phase 1 test trials and the config set up, it'll be time to schedule a date for an entire county upgrade of the network. So by 2024, we should be fully up to date with phones, internet, and all the connections, Wi-Fi between the entire county. So I just wanted to update you guys.
Contractor is Cisco?
It's Converge 1, but it's Cisco equipment that they're putting in. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. That completes our IT portion of the work session. Next, Public Works, and we have an agreement that has been made with the state of Alabama regarding the local road safety initiative program. Let me turn it over to our county engineer, Mr. Campbell.
Thank you, Chairman, Commissioners. Before you should find a construction agreement for local road safety initiative program. That is a federal highway funded program administered through ALDOT with helping drivers to stay in their lane, reducing the potential of crashes if drivers leave their lane, and minimizing the severity in the event that a crash does occur. The notice of funding came to us May, and Gary Matchin, the assistant county engineer, and his team went to work immediately on a submittal for this. The submittal was made in June, and then we received questioning sometime later regarding the projects that we had submitted for consideration. This is a competitive application that's statewide for all 67 counties, but additionally for all municipalities as well. So it's a $5 million funding pot that was competitive statewide to counties and cities and towns for that matter. 3 different sites were submitted and all in the same nature as far as bridge rail retrofits and current crash-worthy end anchors and upgrades for those bridges. So one of the bridges is County Road 48 and 2 bridges located on County Road 30 that all had essentially the same old damaged or deteriorated post and beam rail. Each site was submitted with its own complete information so that award could be made individually or in all or any part thereof. So we did learn that all 3 sites were selected and the award or offer was presented to us for all 3 sites. So the second page of the agreement details the funding for the LRSI cost, the county participation, which is a 90-10 split, and the overall cost of this project to $353,700. So that would bring the county's 10% portion at $35,370 for all 3 bridge rail retrofits. The terms and conditions that are stated in this are essentially the standard agreements that we're familiar with HRRR funds or LRSI funds that we have received in the past. But I do want to answer any questions you may have regarding this project or the terms.
Yeah, thank you again for going above and beyond for things like this. The 10% funds, is that going to be in kind or is that true cash?
Thank you. So as you consider this, it would be a matching portion, and like other grants, we would pay these costs up front and then seek reimbursement. So as those estimates progress and the cost reimbursements progress, we would be reduced by 10%. So if the actual cost turns out to be the same as the estimated cost, then yes, that portion that's represented there would be expected to be paid by the county. So it would actually be paid to the contractor and not reimbursed to the county. So as you consider this, please consider a funding source to obligate toward this, because we are fully obligated and our reserves are expended.
Okay, Bob, options on funding source? Options for funding source for this?
Actually, general fund would be one option.
Okay.
I don't know, you said all the options are like already expended. I mean, I know there's like the code, the tax fund, or any of them smaller fund.
Yeah, so I guess I would suggest looking at general fund 112 or 116. All those would be fair game, the way I see it.
Is cash balance general fund an option?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I would propose certainly the options that Mr. Campbell proposed and look at cash balance, but we could look at that and decide which one that we want to take that out of. We do have funding availability in those. I'm sorry?
There is, the availability is there, and then also he mentioned the 116 fund, capital improvements fund, that one could also take care of that.
Okay.
So it'd be a matter of which one you guys would.
So can we put this on new business next meeting?
Absolutely, yes, sir, if it meets with your approval.
Bring the identified recommended source of funds for that. Okay. Any questions though on this? 48, 30.
Would there be any road closures or anything involved in this work, or would it just be kind of a flagman situation?
So lane closures potentially, but we do not anticipate full road closures.
Thank you.
So I would just like to say and recognize the hard work of Garen and his team on this. They did a lot of work for not just the application process, but detailed cost estimates, project maps, photos, crash data, and traffic count information. So a lot of work went into this. And also thanks to AlDOT for their willingness to invest in Jackson County and helping us with the safety of our roadways. Thank you all.
I would second the comment from Mr. Campbell. The work that his department has put into finding sources of funds that can help us as we deal with much needed work in the county, not just from AlDOT, but from ADEM and from other sources as well, has been very beneficial to us. And so I'd like to say thanks for everybody's work. And thanks to Misty. I think Misty's always looking for sources of funding for us and finding opportunities for that. So with that, we will put this on new business for the next meeting and bring that up. That concludes the work session portion of the meeting. At this time, let me move to reports from the staff. County Administrator, Mr. Manning.
Nothing, thank you.
Any other comments, Mr. Campbell?
No, sir. Thank you.
County Attorney, Mr. Ford. All right, thank you. Can I ask Director of EMA, any update on the safe buildings? I think we're getting ready to...
Yeah, we'll have bid opening tomorrow.
10 o'clock.
That will be the storm shelters for North Sand Mountain, Pisgah section, Woodville, and, hang on, the other K-12 that's not Skyline. So there's 4, so that would include Skyline.
Okay.
So those 4 will be open tomorrow at 10 o'clock.
Okay. And so appreciate the work there. Hopefully we get a bid tomorrow.
We got one walking in tomorrow.
Okay. So we expect a bid and be able to get on that. I think we've been working on this for...
Since 2018.
So 6 years. It takes a while.
It's
Okay.
process.
That's all I'll say. Okay, any other comments from anyone else? Anybody else? So at this time, let me go to comments from the commission, District 4, Commissioner McBride.
Yes, I hope everyone had a good Thanksgiving. I know I ate too much as usual. Got to attend a drug court graduation the other night, and if you've never attended that, that is truly a blessing to see people that commit to changing their behaviors and turning their lives around. It's a great program, and I hope it continues for many years. Thank you again, all the hard work, all our directors and our employees, all 230 plus of them. They work hard for this county, and we really appreciate it. Y'all have a safe trip home.
District 3, Commissioner Barton.
I do have a question, Mr. Campbell.
Yes, sir.
I know there's paving going on 21 and 19. Can you give us an update on what their status is at this point?
So the controlling items of work for both of those projects are complete. The striping items remain. So remain only. Work has begun 14/3/14 on the patching. That'll be the first step of that resurfacing.
Okay.
So as the temps allow that, at least the patching layers and the binder layers will take place. Also, there's some activity on County Road 47 and County Road 58 for the cross drain work and replacements that are ahead of that construction work.
Awesome.
So we're in a time frame now where temperatures are controlling a lot of what can and cannot happen, but that is all happening now.
Right. And I know that on 19, the striping was an issue before, so how quickly do you think that'll happen?
So we need 40 and rising. 50s and 60s are better. So temps are scheduled to moderate soon, so it'll really come down to moisture, I think, probably after that. But regardless of any temps, there's a 2-week cure period that must occur first. So.
Okay. All right, very good. Thank you. And then, just out of curiosity, anything to report on 38 or 93?
38, we are fielding some questions for the environmental section, so that's a good sign. We're having some interaction. That's progressing. 93, we have assurance that they are working, and they were actually in town collecting additional data last week before Thanksgiving on that. So,
And that's taking core samples, is that what they're doing?
no, that's actually the contractor that's working on the proposal. So they were finalizing details in that submission for proposal to put in front of you all.
And when you get the proposal, you bring the design proposal to us for approval.
Yes, sir.
That's awesome. Thank you, sir. All right, and I know I'm taking up too much time, but lots of parades coming up in the next couple of weeks. Strongly encourage people to go out. It's a wonderful event, and so we're going to try to participate in as many parades as we can. But just support your community. It takes a lot of work and effort to put a parade on, and so go out and enjoy those and have a festive time. And thank you.
Okay, District 2, Commissioner Kemp.
I'd just like to say happy holidays for everybody. Be safe during Christmas times. Well, I think we'll see a lot of you before then, but just be safe.
Okay, District 1, Commissioner Gully.
I'd just like to echo, I'd like to thank the county employees for all that they do for the county and the citizens of the county, and it doesn't go unnoticed. And, you know, I'd like to say, let's everybody rally behind and support our Pisgah Eagles, who are still continuing on in the state championship track. So that's all I have. Thank you.
Just a note of upcoming meetings. Right now, we're scheduled to have a commission meeting on the 26th of December, which is right in the middle between Christmas and New Year's, which is a time when a lot of our county employees like to take a little time off and be with family. I would propose, and I will set the commission meeting for the week prior on the Wednesday, December the 20th, same time, same location, rather than asking folks to come in that midweek between the two holidays. I also would like to say thank you. I think we're all privileged here as commissioners to work with our county employees. They're out every day working and taking care of our citizens, and so it's a pleasure for us to come to work and have that opportunity. So I'd like to say thank you also to them. Our next meeting date is December the 11th here at 5 o'clock, and so with that, do I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
I'll make that motion.
We have a motion. To have a second?
I'll second that.
We have a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.